The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
We are back. A's Baseball, past, present, and future. I'm Ralph Tyko of the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network, and one of the hosts, Jerry Feitelberg, is on his way. He's at the A's game today, and they are doing very well. Migden's pitching a shutout. It's like 7-0. Chapman has broken through with a homer, and the real good news is that Chris Davis is back in the lineup, and his first at bat, he doubles, sets the tone for the remaining of the day, and it's maybe it is a road game. No, it's at home because it's Tampa. And
hi, Ralph.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, it is at home, and it taps off a homestand where they didn't do all that well, but it's nice to end it on an up note. And
Jerry predicted this.
Pardon me, Nancy?
Jerry predicted this in the very beginning when he was talking about who the players were and how he thought they were going to do.
Yeah, well, he predicted Migden would do well, and they certainly are. But let's start with you, Nancy. You've had a big weekend. There was a reunion of sorts, and if you would be so kind to tell us all about it.
Oh, yes. Amazing. I was talking to some of our players that Friday before when they came in, and I told them I would go up and say hi. It was wonderful, by the way, to see Campy and Evelyn and Wes Stock and his wife Bev, and then Ted Kubiak. It was just great. And then, oh, by the way, I sent Skip Lock with the video I have. And it was, Monty. I was honored with Monty. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yes.
Monty Moore, the first A's announcer, I guess.
Yeah.
How did that come about that you guys hired Monty? Did you know about him in Kansas City?
I was just born. Apparently he was from that area, and he was a local broadcaster, and Charlie liked his voice, and said he wanted him. He liked his voice, and he is on the cover of a 62 yearbook I have.
Oh, wow.
I know. That goes
very cool.
So, and Monty's just...
And he was there. He's in good health, I take it?
Yes, he certainly appears to be. And
nice.
Excuse me, Nancy. Didn't Harry Carey work for the A's?
Oh, yes. Okay. He did when I came out here to live in the penthouse. I saw all of his pictures on our furniture. And Dad told me who that was. And Dad had actually taken Harry Carey out on the town to show him the location, this area. And he was a good partier from what I hear. He was here for a year. I remember those glasses.
Yeah. He
I remember Bob Rush was it Bob? Not Bob Rush.
You know what we should
Don
do?
Rush?
We should go through Nancy's dad's Rolodex sometime on the air.
Okay.
I saw him. Dad had his name, and Rush. Dad had it as Rush.
Right.
And yes,
he was an announcer, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he worked a year with Jimmy Pearsall as the analyst out here.
I see that
and
name.
That must have been about 71.
Then he was in the late 70s.
Who was?
Red is what?
Oh, okay. Well, then I messed that up a little.
He might have. You never know. They came back. They went back and forth.
Right, but I think it is the late 70s when he was out. Very exciting for you, Nancy.
Oh.
what was the most exciting of all the moments when you were there?
Oh boy. Oh, I met Dave Cavill's mom was there.
Oh, wow.
What? I mean, she looks like she's his age. I mean, it's amazing. What a dynamic family. And then we had, Charlie O, they had a mule with the blanket that
Now, Nancy, I saw some YouTube footage of the original Charlie O, the mule. Mm-hmm. He was one big mule.
Thank you. I tell that because this mule wasn't as big, but he was okay. I mean, at least he was medium. And but I don't, I think people have trouble finding a mule that size.
I don't know if you
can all
Ralph, we're in the top
yes.
of the ninth.
Well, we have a lousy line there. Jerry?
Do you want to call back?
Yeah, why don't you call back, Jerry?
Okay.
So I always wear my green hat so people know, where I am. And it's
right.
my Where's Waldo thing. So I had that, and we went down on the field, and it was nice. People were saying they liked my book, From Up Above. And then we went, I saw Monty, and we were told where to stand, and then the players came out. I love the way they did that. The introduction.
And they honored you guys. Did you hear your name over the loudspeaker? Did they introduce you that way?
They might have. There was so much going on. I was looking. Okay. I was watching the mule come out, and just look. And then here comes Harvey.
Right.
And then I just had this urge to grab Harvey, but I didn't. So yeah, I was on that big screen, from what people tell me.
Joey, are you back?
I'm back. We're at the top of the ninth. Score is 7-2. Men on first and second, and there are 2 strikes on Christian Arroyo with Lucas pitching. And here comes the pitch.
What do you think?
Well, Christian Arroyo is the guy that they got from the Tampa guy from the Giants for Longoria, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Well, it's now 7-3 with men on second and 3 because Arroyo doubled down the left field line. So there's 2 out in the top of the ninth, 2 men in scoring position. Bob Melvin's coming out to make a pitching change.
I didn't realize how tall he is, Melvin.
Cliff Trinan is the new ace. The closer Trinan is coming on.
All right.
Can you hear that?
3 runs.
You're not coming in real good, but you're not coming in real bad. Just that you're coming in is good if you look at it on some levels.
I don't.
Nancy, your voice over this thing seems to be better today, so let's go to you.
Okay.
Who was there from Kansas City that you didn't expect to be there?
In this last weekend?
Yeah.
Well, several of our players were in Kansas City, but I knew they would be there because they stayed with us for the World Series. That was Campy, Sal Bando, and Ted Kubiak. I'm trying to.
And it was a happy time. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, yes. And I saw the mural for the first time. I think Jerry was telling me about that. The mural going back to starting in '68, and then I saw my World Series ticket up there with the mule. I call that the kicking mule. And yeah, the first image, it's just standing. So, but yes, I have pictures of the mule that show how huge he was he's like an Arabian.
Well, I'll tell you where I got the idea that he was really big is that I saw Hawk Harrelson on YouTube riding Charlie O, the mule, and it almost made him look like a jockey. He was holding on for dear life. The mule was bucking, and it was, bareback, that sort of thing.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
no.
a very interesting character and a very, very big part of A's history.
I'm sorry Hawk had to do that. We stopped that later. I'm sorry he had to ride like that. That would have been frightening.
Yeah, that was a little frightening. But he got some good publicity out of it. And it turned out that Hawk Harrelson was one of the first people to stand up to Charlie. Not just to acquiesce a little bit. Turned out to be a move that Charlie wouldn't have made
from the
if he
airplane?
didn't absolutely have to.
You mean
Harrelson
the
was
airplane
one hell of a
incident?
good hitter at the time.
Final total for the Rays, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. They left 6. For the Athletics, 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors.
All right, I guess we have a wrap up on that game. And, we're learning what our limitations are calling from the press box, but we're grateful to Jerry did. And
1 hit, 2 runs that were earned.
He's got the mic on. He's got from the press box. Jerry, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but barely.
Okay, we're going to have to try you next week. How about that? And we'll wrap it up here with Nancy. I want to congratulate you on your family being honored. And I'm wondering if you got to keep an extra backpack or two for yourself.
Oh yes. I was very glad to see those. I had friends in Kansas City saying they want one. That's a big deal back there, Harvey. That is actually the mascot for the Royals minor league team.
Oh, did not know that.
Yes.
Did not know that. So the tradition continues.
I have pictures of that rabbit. Yeah.
I heard one announcer on MLB talking about the Kansas City Royals recently and absolutely confusing the Kansas City team with the Kansas City A's.
What did he say?
His history was skewed, and I thought to myself, this is a young guy, but he should remember. I mean, a retired ball player. And he's just rambling on about how the Kansas City Royals came out to Oakland and whatever.
What about it?
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of ignorance going on about those days with one Kansas City team moving, another one being formed, and
the A's being formed.
So when I think of that other Kansas City team, I think of the former Oakland A executive whom you knew, Sid Thrift, and I knew him as well in his days when he was simply Jim Thrift's dad.
You know what? His kids must have been had moved out already because it was just the two of them.
Right. I think by that time his son was already playing minor league ball.
Ask his son if he remembers their Jacques.
Okay. Next time I speak to him, I will.
Yes.
He's in the real estate business in Florida. He was former Met manager in the minor leagues and very, very big in player development with Cincinnati over the years.
His dad gave me my first non-baseball job when I was out here.
Babysitting.
Walking Jacques, yes.
Hi, Ralph. I'm back again. I hope you can hear me better.
This is much better.
And we won.
This is much better.
Yeah, we won.
Hey, Jerry, did the A's wrap it up today? It's Thursday, the 31st, and we're hoping they did.
Yeah, they had 3 home runs in the game. Matt Chapman, Matt Olson hit last, and then Joyce hit one. The 3 Mats hit home runs today. And the A's scored
That's
7
very
points.
nice. And by the way, as you said on your Facebook account, Chris Davis is back in the lineup for the A's. He's back from an injury, and he promptly doubles and sets the tone for a good hitting day.
Jerry
so let's hope this turns it around a little bit for the A's.
Well, they've been doing better than people predicted. There was so much negativity in the before the season started, and
I predicted them to go 82 and 80, 2 games over 500, and that's about the way they're playing all season long.
I know.
One game over now.
I thought
but
of
they
that.
couldn't hit this home. They couldn't hit this homestand. They couldn't get anything going.
I know.
And they didn't hit any home runs today. They had 3 home runs to get it going, but they had 19 home runs for the season until today. They have 22 at home, but they have 47 on the road.
You predicted it.
Yeah, it was nice to see Matt Chapman break out a little bit. He's been slumping very, very badly, but not in the field. This guy is about
fabulous. But did you know in today's lineup, the only hitter over 250 was Jed Lowry. Every other player was hitting under 250. Piscotty was hitting 228 coming into the game. Chapman was a 228. Olson was a 238. They need to get hits and get men on base and start moving them. And that's what they did in the second inning when they scored 3 times. They're
living up to your expectations, but I don't think any of us would have predicted that their pitching is as good as it would be as good as it is.
How about Mengden went 8+ innings. He made it to the 9th inning. I think he threw 100 pitches when they took him out, and he was dominant. He really was dominant. I think he was charged with 2 runs.
He did a good job scouting.
He picked his 6th win of the season. He's become the ace of the staff. Sean Manaea has faltered. Manaea was 4-1 in April. Now he's 5-6. And whatever he had going early, he's got to find it if you want to keep the A's rotation. And Trevor Cahill has been a find. Cahill is the veteran.
That's a feel-good story. Originally in Oakland A and was filled by injuries, and now appears to be healthy. I think it's the longest healthy streak he's had.
And this weather
in his career. It's like what is it? 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
No, it's long. It's longer than that.
Who, at Anderson?
No. Well, Anderson has literally been no longer than 2 weeks, but Cahill's been healthy for a while.
He was out 10 days. I think he was just out 10 days.
Yeah.
And he's had a couple of good starts since he came back. He's really been solid. Very pleased to see it. I think he went 8 innings last time, didn't give up a run. That was in the first game, the 1-0 game on Monday. And he was sensational.
Are the Warriors the Warriors were also playing that afternoon on Saturday.
No, the Warriors played. They played. They played. Was it the same? No. On Saturday, the Warriors played, and then they played on Monday, but they were in Houston. The Warriors did play on Saturday, the home game 6.
That part, the parking was challenging.
Well, now
when they're on the road, did they use the Coliseum as a big movie type thing?
The Warriors had the Oracle Arena open, and the fans came in, and they were they were cheering on the big screen on the Megatron.
Oh, okay. I think that's a terrific idea.
Oh yeah. Well, you get the sense.
Does that? Do they monetize that at all, or is that just something nice for the fans?
Yep. It's $20 to get in, and $30 to park for those games. It costs $50. Not $50 per person, but you bring four people in the cars. It's $30 to get in, but it's $20 a person. So nothing wrong with making a little money,
Yeah.
having a good time, and selling some booze and some food
That
and all
was
that.
what we monetized with the day on the green, but that was just to help pay the monthly rent.
Yeah,
Right.
I just want to make an announcement of what
Yeah.
the A's are doing on September 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
On September 3rd, which is Labor Day, they're playing the New York Yankees. The A's announced that they are teaming up with the ALS Foundation, Research Foundation, and they're going to be contributing $5 of all the tickets sold to ALS research.
Good.
And I just think that that's sensational. And as you know, one of our dearest friends has the awful disease, and she's doing the best she can, and she's getting treatment and anything that they can do for research to stop it. As you know, it's incurable.
Oh,
and,
yeah. I get a newsletter.
There are no
on
survivors.
That.
And of course, the A's had their Hall of Fame pitcher, Catfish Hunter,
Oh, I know.
with it, and Jim died at the age of 53 years old.
We had just had we had a private ceremony for him. They gave us the Raiders locker room, and it was before the press conference. We were there, and the players, Monty was there, and Jim looked like he was about to cry. Everyone looked that way. And the only difference, he was in a suit, but he could not move his hands. They're down at his side. And
that's what happens. The muscles are paralyzed, and it's just tragic. And that's how he suffered a fall. He lost his balance. He had no way to stop his fall.
I'm so glad we had that day for him. That was just a few weeks earlier. So it starts in the hands?
Yeah, well, no, it affects the vocal cords. It affects their breathing. It affects their ability to swallow. And what it doesn't affect is their brain. So they know what's going on, but they can't do anything to stop it. That's why it's so horrible.
Cool.
Our friend has half her vocal cords are paralyzed. And she has some problems she has a brace on her left foot because she can't move that as well. And her hands are okay. Her brain is okay. And she and her husband did their crying, and her attitude is that I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm going to do whatever I can. And she and her husband are going on a cruise in about 2 weeks with her family. They're going to do a British Isles cruise, and they've made all the preparations, the wheelchair and all the special food and everything that they need to keep her going. And she's taking treatment over at Stanford Fort. Whatever they can do to stop the progression of the disease, and that's the only thing they can do. And there's research. There's a lot of research being done in stem cells in Israel. They're working with three hospitals in the United States, Mass General up in Boston, the Mayo Institute, and I think they're working at UC Irvine here in California on research for ALS.
Isn't that that's tied into Parkinson's and Alzheimer's?
It's related to multiple sclerosis. It's muscular dystrophy is related to Parkinson's, any neurological disorder that affects the nervous system. Of course, dystrophy has plaque on the nervous system, on the nerves that run the body.
Jerry, you want to tell us the dates again?
It's September 3rd.
I'm sorry, September 3rd. Labor Day, and it's a very attractive game because they'll be playing the New York Yankees. This is the first of the 3-game series, and it's the only visit the Yankees have this year coming into the Coliseum. Okay.
Were they going to bring Giambi's brother back just to ceremoniously slide into home plate to avoid the tag against the Yankees?
You're bad, Ralph. You are so bad.
I'm just curious if they thought of that in advance. I think about these things all the time. That would have made a big difference in everything. It really would have. I think the whole stadium thing would have been boosted. The quest for a new stadium would have gone forward a little earlier. Would have been nice.
what about Jeter's play? He made a sensational play.
Oh, absolutely.
To make the
that
to
flip,
go over the foul line and the flip back to get him. Oh, come on.
Yeah. No question. Jeter was special. A lot of people say he was somewhat overrated because there was a time when Garciaparra of the Red Sox, Jeter of the Yankees, and A-Rod of Texas were all at the top of the game at the same time, and there was a case to be made that Jeter, at one time or another, was the third best shortstop in the American League. So
I take him on my team anytime.
No question about that.
Yeah.
Either one of those three guys on my team.
Oh yeah. Well, Jeter didn't use juice, so he's at the top of goes to the top of the class.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Jeter.
And you know what? I'll take Walt Weiss on my team from back in the day.
Walt Weiss. Hey, listen, Walt Weiss and Mike Bordick, those two guys were great for the A's.
Very solid. Very
solid players. Nothing wrong with
either
one. But
Nancy mentioned Campy, and you talk about one underrated guy. There are people that think that
he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not. There's a lot of guys that are very, very good that aren't in the Hall of Fame. But
I wonder if we should make a suggestion to Dave Cavill that many of the baseball clubs have their own Hall of Fame. Like the Red Sox have their own Hall of Fame.
Aren't they going to do that?
Are they going to do that?
I heard something that they might do that.
That'd be wonderful. You could put Cappy in and have induction ceremonies for all the great players that have played for the Oakland A's since 1968. The 50
Maybe that would give the Hall of Fame an idea.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll check into.
Maybe we could email Dave. I don't know if I have his email. I got the A's media book in my car. I can look it up. Maybe I'll send him an email. We were discussing it. Maybe it's been discussed before, but that'd be nice if they could do that. Look what I'm getting. Getting the stats. Begin those. Great.
All right. Hey, listen, guys. This has been a terrific show. Nancy, congratulations on your honor.
Thank you.
Jerry, thank you for being right on top of things.
I just
fill me in. I didn't hear the honor. Fill me in.
Oh, and Nancy was just bringing back her Kansas City A's. She was on the field.
Were you there, Jerry, Saturday?
No, I didn't know. I don't know where I was somewhere Saturday, but I wasn't. I didn't see the game.
It was a day game too. Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was
Ralph.
a day game. I did the Warrior game that night. I was covering the Warriors for Sports Radio Service.
A lot of people did that, I think. So we had competition.
Yeah, big competition.
All right.
I know.
Hey, listen, we'll be back next week, same time, same bat channel, as Al Blumpkin would say. And it's the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm Ralph Tyko, the weak link of it all. Jerry Feitelberg is here. Nancy Finley is here. And we got the spirit of the rabbit that came up behind home plate. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the first major notoriety that Charlie ever had nationally.
61.
When that rabbit came up.
I want to mention something later on another show about that, too.
One last question.
Sure.
On Saturday, didn't they give out backpacks with Harvey on the back of it?
Yes, I made all those. No, yes, they did.
You made them all.
Yes. I finished late Friday night.
Good. Well, thank God. And I hope your hands aren't sore.
I know.
Because all that sewing, Nancy, you ought to be commended.
Yeah, and they look great. I saw people wearing them.
All right.
Well, can I give you one little story? Because I did get 2 backpacks on Thursday and we gave them to Isla's granddaughters, and they wanted to know why was the rabbit on the backpack, and I had to tell them the story of Harvey the rabbit.
He's on my on my website. I have a YouTube of the original Harvey with the red light.
Oh, wonderful! It's on YouTube. I have to check it out.
It's on my website. There's YouTube there with that. So
great.
OaklandAthleticsHistory.com.
Got it.
Well,
more information.
Okay.
Put links to the show and all the shows on your website, Nancy.
I will have my son do that. I'm learning that.
All right.
My son does what
Spread the word.
Yes.
And both of you, stay healthy this week, and we'll be back next week and do it again.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right.
Well.
Thank you both.
Adios.
Be well, everybody. If you're listening and enjoying, keep coming back. Adios.